So when I left my family, the poor family where I was living for a while, I gave them a box of chicken so that they could start a sustainable chicken production. I don't know if this was the inspiration, but also the organization as such started with chicken and agricultural production. They did it to make sure that they could have funding for their own activities. And after a while, they were able to grant more funds than the 30 that they got from Norway. They provided grants for going to school for more children in their villages. They also, when the Hurricane Mitch struck Central America, and it struck Guatemala quite hard, they organized sendings of food, they organized young people to go there to reconstruct houses. They become a driving force in Guatemala. It's a success story. The organization is growing. And also we from the Norwegian side, we have learned a lot, in particular on recruitment to organizations. And when the Norwegian Rural Youth Organization has for the 8th year now in a row in 2008 had a growing number of members, I think it is because we have learned a lot from this project. So we should take with us what we have learned from around the world. The young people that were involved in the organization from the beginning are now young, well, not so young, but still quite young, teachers, secretaries, and engineers, providing a more decent life in the villages in Guatemala. And finally, they have a library where they can do homework, which was provided by a sponsor from the Norwegian organization. Okay, I'm not saying that you should start farming to ensure the activities from your own organizations. But I'm saying that you should gather in organizations. The role of youth NGOs is important. I'm saying that you should seek international cooperation to strengthen your work and to learn from each other. And I'm saying that you should see the opportunities and remember those who have less than yourselves, also in times of struggle. Finally, I'm going to take you to a small country which is close to my heart and which I know quite well. 100 years ago, Norway was the poorest country in Europe. I often actually think that no one were supposed to live there. Can you imagine my forefathers and my foremothers when they were following the ice north, north, north? I mean, okay, here the days are cold and short, here the summer is too short to grow absolutely anything. Let's settle here. Let's establish here. As you can understand, it can't have been the smartest people in the world. And also today, I think we have inherited this. We are not very innovative if you compare us to many of our neighbors in Europe. But if you take a map of Norway and try to indicate where is the innovation, where are the cool things that drive our country forward, we can find an interesting pattern. Where we find innovation is where we find bad conditions for agriculture and bad conditions, for instance, for fishing. On the driest, the windiest, the rockiest, the most hopeless places where nothing can grow, that is where ideas grow the better. And what can we learn from that? Well, we can learn that crises create opportunities. These are the times when we struggle and have to find new solutions. This is where entrepreneurs, inventors, and the ones making your country drive forward, this is the stage where they should step forward. And I think that many of you are in this room today. I'm going to take you to one of the small places where the time stood still and there was plenty of space for innovation. It's called Stryn. It's a small place in Norway. And in 2002, two young boys from Norway returned there after traveling a little bit around the world. It has 7,650 inhabitants, not so much of a market, and still they decided, let's establish a fashion house here. Crazy? Yes, but they did. They call their design the moods of Norway, and they take everything Norwegians have and whatever they have had, and they make fashion and fun out of it. Tractors, mooses, hydropower, oil platforms, waffles. I have a t-shirt with a waffle heart on the front and the recipe for grandma's waffles on the back. In 2007 they had sailing and cocktail as their main line, and they bought this fish boat rather cheap and they painted it pink because most of the things they had that year was pink. And this one has the story of Steinar, a moose on his back, on its back. They have done it quite well around the world. Today you find their branches in I think I have it here somewhere. Yeah, Los Angeles, New York, Milan, Rome, and so on. And for the Oscar awards, there were giveaways from Moods of Norway in the bags that all the celebrities that they got for the party. Their latest project is that today they're actually launching a cooperation with the Mercedes-Benz. I don't know what it's all about, but I think that very many people around the world have huge expectations. They made it to Hollywood, and why can't you? In addition, from this small village, the water that Madonna drinks, her favorite water, comes from here. And that production was established after the Moods of Norway. You should learn from each other also when you have success stories like this. Okay, I'm not saying as a conclusion that you shall all become fashion designers, but I'm saying that you should look for possibilities. Latvians are amazing when it comes to learning new languages. Latvians are amazing when it comes to being in front in technology, development, and not at least use. You should combine this. Did you know that this morning when I boarded my plane in Germany, the call for boarding was made from India, because they have some of the same advantages, good language skills and good technology, and they do it far better than the Germans themselves. You have great opportunities. I'd say that when I'm looking at the Latvians, I would say that you should be proud of being Latvian. That is what you shall learn from the story about the Moods of Norway. Take what you have, your beaches, your interest in ice hockey, in basketball, your small poems that I have never been able to read because I haven't seen them in English, but I've heard a lot about them. I think you should take all this, be proud of it, develop it together, and show it to the rest of the world, and share your experiences with the young people in Europe. Good luck, and have a wonderful day.